What is up, guys? PocketCraft here, and today I have an awesome video for you. I'm going to be showing you how you can win in the Master League as a level 25 trainer. So as you just saw, I'm level 25, and I'm going into the Master League, and I don't have any crazy Pokemon. In fact, I don't even have Pokemon over 2500 CP or at 2500 CP, so technically I wouldn't even be at par for the Ultra League, which I think is where a lot of level 25 players in reality are. And so I'm doing Premier Cup because I think it'd be a lot easier to win this way if you're not having to use legendaries. So you're going to want to make sure you just stick around to the end of the video, because all throughout the video I'm going to be giving you tips on how you can win as a low level trainer. So I'm using Excadrill as a lead, and then I have Escavalier and then Gigalith. And so the reason I'm using these three, Escavalier is an easy one to get, especially at the time of this filming. He was in Tier 3 raids, and so those are pretty easy ones to do as a low-level trainer, especially if you have a friend or two that plays. And he's really common in most areas because he's boosted by sunny weather. Escavalier is super easy to get. You only need one, and then you can trade it with a friend, and you can evolve it. And then Gigalith, Rock and Roller, is really common as well. And if you trade him, then you can evolve him for only 50 candies, and that gives you the ability to get a lucky one like I have. And so that's pretty easy to get. And so going into this battle, as you can see, he leads with the Vaporeon, so I had to switch into the Escavalier, who is doing really well, if I might add. And he switched into a Rhydon, which really wasn't a great move because Escavalier has Counter, which is super effective, and then he's got Drill Run, which is also super effective. And so one of my big tips for you guys, as you can see, actually before we get into the tip, we're lucky here because we're at a lower rank. And so I think that's a qualifier I'm going to have to put into this video. So once you get above like rank 7, even in rank 7 pretty much, and above rank 7, you're not going to be able to win as a low level trainer unless you have Pokemon that are at least like 3000 CP, which you probably won't have as a low level trainer. However, rank 6 and below, you can definitely win as a low level trainer if you just fight smart, because you're not going to have the CP as everybody else, but if you can fight smart enough, you can win your fair share of battles, as you're about to see within this video. And I'm going to go slow through these battles because I really want you guys to see the thought process going into it. So, the biggest thing you got to focus on, and the way that you can win the best, is in the Master League, most people use pretty similar teams. In fact, there's 3 Pokemon that, especially once you get into the higher ranks, sometimes not as much in the lower ranks, but there's 3 Pokemon that almost every team kind of has. And so that's going to be Gyarados, Metagross, or Dragonite. Almost every team has at least one of those. And so what you really want to do is build a team that can take care of Pokemon like that you're going to see really often, because then when you land into those matchups, you have a good shot at winning. So unfortunately, I haven't been that lucky right now because I'm at a pretty low rank right now, and so some of the Pokemon can be a lot different than normal. So everybody keeps leading with Vaporeon, which could be a big problem for my team, but I've been able to do pretty well by just switching into Escavalier because it doesn't seem like a threat. So they either stay in, or oftentimes they'll actually switch into someone like Rhyperior that Escavalier can handle pretty well. And so the Vaporeons haven't been too much of a problem. But the reason I built my team the way I did, so Escavalier is a ground type, and I just have him with Mud Slap and Drill Run, I think is his moveset. And so that actually handles a lot of the meta pretty well, and even better is he's a Pokemon that I'm not sure if he actually has access to a rock move, but a lot of people do think he has access to a rock move. So sometimes when like a Dragonite will come out, I'll be able to get at least one shield because they're worried it's going to be like a Rock Slide or something, even though it's such a Drill Run that wouldn't do a lot of damage to them. But also Escavalier can handle the Rhyperiors pretty easily. He can handle Metagross pretty easily. He can handle any of the fire types except for Charizard. However, he can usually get a shield from Charizard as well. And Metagross is important because Metagross can be a really big problem for a lot of teams. And so Gigalith here is super important because I use him to take out Gyarados and Dragonite and Togekiss and Charizard. Any of those flyers that are really popular in the Master League. And he also takes care of the ice types for me, so people like Glaceon. Mamoswine can be a little bit more difficult, but he can usually do pretty well against Mamoswine, and then Escavalier and Excadrill actually do pretty well against Mamoswine as well. So the ice types aren't a huge problem. And right there, that is like almost all of the meta that I just listed out. Now, some of the Pokemon that can cause a little bit of a problem, Machamp can be a little bit difficult, but Escavalier can do fairly well against Machamp if you play it right. It can just be a little bit difficult, but you can usually get a win some of the time. This team also handles Snorlax pretty well. Escavalier can do really well against Snorlax, and it's not a Pokemon that most people using Snorlax will really be worried about, and so they don't often like switch or fear anything with it, and so you can do pretty well with Escavalier against Snorlax. And then I guess right now I'm going to get more into these videos that I'm showing you and talk more about the strategy that's going with them. So I'll speed them up a little bit, and then I'm going to talk a little bit more strategy with you guys about how you can win at the end. And so I guess it kind of seems like I'm saying you have to use this team. You don't have to use this team. However, if you have the option to, it worked extremely well with me, as you're about to find out. But I would definitely use that same kind of idea of a super anti-meta team. I think that's your best chance to win. Because if you try using any of the normal Pokemon, like a Metagross or a Dragonite or some other powerful Pokemon, when you're such a low level, you're just going to get destroyed by level 40s who are also using a Metagross or a Dragonite, because theirs are going to be so much better. However, if you can use Pokemon that may be a lot lower CP, but they are super good against Metagross, Dragonite, Gyarados, all those really common Pokemon that you run into, then you can actually get a win a lot of the times, even though you may be way lower CP. And so that's really what I'm trying to push home to you guys, is you just gotta find a way to win. You have to be more clever when you're a lower level, and so you gotta be really smart about how you make up your team. Oh, also, before I start describing these battles that I'm in, because this one is pretty obviously that it's going well, Magnezone is another really popular one that this team takes care of pretty easily. And I started this challenge when I was about rank 3 in the Master League, because I hadn't done a whole lot of battles because I was such a low level. And so, obviously this one is a little bit easier to win because I was such a low level. But I wanted to test, after this, how successful this went. I wanted to see how far I could really go with this team. And so I did all my daily battles for that day. And I think I went like 4-1 on the next one. And then I actually went 5-0. And then once I got to rank 5, it got a little bit more difficult. I had 2 where I went 3-2, I think. Maybe actually one was 4-1. I don't know. I had a majority of winning. So I was able to get up to rank 6 and continue winning before I ran out. And then I ran out, obviously, in my daily battles. But I was pretty impressed with how far I went. And so I promise I'm not lying. I don't have the videos here because I didn't want to have like a 30-minute video, because you guys probably don't want to listen to me talk for 30 minutes. But I did do that. I promise I'm not lying. And so then, now that we're getting closer to the end, I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to maybe speed up a little bit, and I'm going to talk to you guys about these last couple battles and how they're going. But there will be some more help at the end, so you're going to want to stick around. And so I was pretty lucky here because Arcanine actually had his quick move as Snarl, I think, and so he didn't do a whole lot of damage to my Escavalier, where usually he would have done a lot. And then I had Drill Run, so I had a super effective attack against him, which was awesome. Then Escavalier's got a Drill Run charged up here, which obviously is going to take care of Jolteon very easily. And there's another win in the back. I think this is number 4, if I'm correct. Yeah, this is number 4. And I once again want to emphasize how important it is the team you use, because I tried this before with a different team, and luckily, actually, the video didn't record right, so I had to do a new one. And that one I only won 1 out of 5, but it was a completely different team. And so since that team was so terrible, I was like, I guess I'll switch it up for this one. I thought a little bit more about it, so I changed my team around. And then I had this round, and then I kept going, and I kept winning, and so I was like, this is a pretty good team, and so it's a pretty good setup. So I realized the right way to win is really just thinking about it. So right here, obviously Vaporeon is going to take out Excadrill, but I'm able to get off that Drill Run, which is awesome. And so then I get into Escavalier, and I'm going to run another Drill Run, which I just saw does a lot of damage to Vaporeon. And then luckily I'm able to get that shield, and he's doing an okay amount of damage, but not a whole lot. So I'm going to shield here for sure, because I definitely want to save Escavalier. I don't want him to go down, and I don't know how much his attack is going to do to me. And so I'm able to get him down pretty far. I'm going to run another Drill Run, because either I'll get Vaporeon gone, or I'll get that last shield. Ideally the last shield, which is what I get, and then I think here I'm just going to try and farm Vaporeon down and get that, which I do. And so now I'm able to get almost a full Drill Run charged up. He switches into Rhydon, and I have one charged up. He has no shields, and Drill Run is going to do massive damage to a Rhydon. And so Rhydon's almost dead, and then I go into Gigalith, which is a little scary because he's using Mud Slap, which is super effective against Gigalith, but Gigalith does quite a bit of damage, actually. He's a pretty powerful Pokemon. And so right there, I'm able to win again, and I think that's actually my 5th win. So I went 5-0 in this series, and then I kept winning after that. So it really shows that it's definitely a little bit tricky, but especially in the lower leagues, you can totally win as a low level, even a level 25 in the Master League. And so as a level 30 or higher, you can totally win in the Master League. You just have to be smart about it. So if any of you guys are lower levels and you want to try this, try it out and let me know how it goes. I am actually really curious. Let me know if you can win some battles or not and how it goes. And comment down below what your team is actually and your record the first time that you tried it. But that's probably going to be it for today's episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have awesome luck in the Master League. And if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. It helps me out a lot. If you enjoyed this video, throw down a like. And maybe check out some of my other content if you like this. But I'll see you guys all in that next video.